Hello everyone, this is the pre-market report video for 20th December 2022 in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. I think most of us know that yesterday, except IT stocks, all the sectors in the Indian market ended in positive and made Nifty, Bank Nifty and Sensex all to close positive. Yesterday, if we see the whole Asian market, it's just only Indian markets major index closed positive. All other Asian markets major index such as China, Japan and Korea all closed negative. Then after our Indian market, all four European major index too closed positive. UK FTSE was mainly supported by mining and energy stocks as oil price increased nearly over 2%. The main reason for the oil price increase is the demand pickup expectation because of the opening of Chinese economy. On Saturday, Chinese party officials released the statement that this financial year they expect China to reach over 120 trillion yuan of GDP, which is roughly equal to over 17 trillion US dollars. In order to reach there, China need to grow at 4.9% GDP growth rate this year, but so far this year they grown only by 3%. So now it kind of increases the hope among the investors that Chinese CCP party will now do the very aggressive stimulus or the economic package to reach the GDP target. So if it happens, obviously this will increase the demand for oil. At this time of this video, Brent crude oil was traded at near 80 US dollars per barrel and WTI crude oil was traded at near 76 US dollars per barrel. And since UK's FTSE index got more oil and energy stocks, thus it closed positive. Then regarding the German one, IFO Institute of Economic Research released the Germany's Business Climate Index. Basically, this index is the measure of business perceptions of both current and future Germany's business conditions. This is the very widely followed macro, particularly for Germany. Regarding the value, after reaching the bottom in September and October, finally after November on December 2, it increased more than that of the expectations. This data made the Germany and EU's major index to close positive. So yesterday it's only Europe and Indian major index closed positive, not even the American ones. Anyway, about that, actually yesterday there was no actual major US macro was scheduled to release. But Reuters poll economic analyst released their forecast for the upcoming consumer confidence and housing stats data. First, US Consumer Board Consumer Confidence. It's a leading indicator as it can predict the consumer spending, which plays a major role in overall economic activity. Higher the reading points to results, higher consumer optimism and spending. Again, Reuters poll economic analyst, they predicted it to increase 101 for December month, which means it's more consumer spending confidence. Then this housing stats data. This US consumer confidence data is scheduled to release on Wednesday, tomorrow night. And about the housing stats, some scheduled release tonight and some tomorrow. I don't want to go in detail in each one of it since it's already a dry subject and it will be more boring. So just remember, all the housing stats forecast, whatever they did is against the market, which subsequently increases the fear of more aggressive interest rate hike. Then that lead to the fear of recession, and because of that, which resulted in increase of all the treasury bond yield, including 10-year one to over 3%. As I already explained most of the times, higher the bond yield is always against the tech stocks. So again, all the tech stocks was really under huge pressure. Facebook was the major loser, lost over 4%, followed by Amazon, lost over 3%. If required, please pause it and have a look that which stocks lost and how much percent it lost. This all made all three US major index to close negative for the fourth straight session. Dow Jones is the least affected one. It lost just by 0.49%. S&P 500 down by 0.9% and Nasdaq is the one that got hit most. It crashed near 1.5%. Again, there is no much change in dollar index. Then about SGX Nifty, at 3 a.m. Indian Standard Time, it closed at 18,443. By equating it to a spot market, it's kind of indicating 50 to 60 points gap down. Regarding Indian Indias, surprisingly, Infosys closed positive despite the fact that there is a tech stock weakness in US. Wipro closed flat, kind of indicating that IT sell-off is now running out of steam. Regarding banks, HDFC Bank marginally down and ICICI Bank closed marginally positive. So basically, Indian stocks in US didn't got as affected as US stocks. That's all about the global market. Now coming to India related info. To be honest, at present, generally Indian market is positive, but there is a clear lack of support from the global momentum. So I don't know how long it will sustain and go higher. Anyway, as an overall state of economy, there is a partially positive report. Regarding that, yesterday in the aftermarket hours, ICRA, one of the India's credit rating agency, released the overall market and India's macro report. The positive one is they increased the Indian Bank's outlook to positive from stable conditions as they highlighted that the NPA will reach the lowest level in FY 2024. This is partial positive info and this is really positive for banks. Then the negative ones, they said that they expect the Indian merchandise export to contract over 7% in the upcoming December to March period. And they also expect this commodity price drops can only reduce slight current account deficit and India still will have CAD of 3.2%. Now let's move to the sector and stock specific. First, regarding Reliance. Yesterday, Jio Cinema released the report that over 110 million people watched the FIFA World Cup final on Jio Cinema app and Network 18 Sports 18 app. For the first time, it's over TV viewership. I don't know, regular viewers of this channel might remember this. Last month, I think it's Bloomberg but not sure, they raised their concerns over failure of capturing customers by Jio Cinema, Jio Meet, Jio Mart. And on that, now Jio Cinema looks like found its niche. Also, yesterday, TRA released the October month usual telecom subscription report and the report shows that Vodafone lost over 35 lakhs customers and those customers went to the Reliance Jio and Airtel. So, all these news is kind of indicating positive Reliance trade. Then about FMCG, there is one stock had a positive news and one stock had a negative news. First, the positive news. Indian government agreed to give 2 to 3 million tons of wheat to biscuit makers in the subsidiary price. They are doing this to reduce the wheat price surge. So this is kind of very positive for Britannia and to some extent to ITC as well since they got the Sunfeast brand. Now the negative one, there is a rumor that today Dauber's promoter is going to sell up to 4% stake in their company. This is kind of negative for that stock. Then the next sector I like to discuss is about aviation. As the November month aviation passenger data shows that there is a passenger surge by over 11%. Generally, it's positive news, but for sure it's positive for SpiceJet as they increase their passenger share from 7.3% to 7.5%, whereas Indigo dropped marginally. As a summary, again global market is really very weak. SGX Nifty kind of indicating 50 points gap down. But again, there are positive news regarding banks and Reliance and there is a selling exhaustion in IT stocks. Regarding metals, opening Chinese economy is really positive. But for that, my reservation is that even Chinese market didn't take that as positive yesterday. Thus, if Chinese market positive today, then that can make the metal stocks to trade positive. So today's market is more of the combat between the local positive momentum versus the global negative momentum. Then about the items we need to look out for. Today early morning there's a schedule for Chinese interest rate decision and at 8:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, Japanese interest rate decision. For China, the expectation is to keep the interest rate as 3.65% and for Japan, it is to keep at negative 0.1%. So basically, those two data will have the huge influence on Asian markets today. Then during our market hours at 12:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, Germany's PPI data. I mean Germany's wholesale inflation data. The expectation is to cool 30.6% from 34% in the previous October month. Let's see. Then in the night, in the aftermarket has various US housing data. So these are the items we need to look out for today. Now coming to technical, on the daily chart, Nifty forms a white morning star formation and the Bank Nifty forms a bullish hanging man candle. Both the candles are reasonable ones and both the candles indicates the bullish trend reversal. It's kind of too soon to me. And it can be a false signal and my brain is struggling to accept the bullish uptrend continuation. So I guess it can be confirmed only if it passes above 18,650 level. But for now, the trend is still indicating the bullishness continuation. Then coming to moving averages and technical indicators. For Nifty, at present on daily chart, it's same as yesterday. Moving averages still neutral and sell on technical indicator summary. Then for Bank Nifty, it's too same as yesterday. Both moving averages and technical indicator summary, it's a buy signal. Then about RSI, at present for Nifty, it's upgraded from sell to neutral. The value is 50.5 and for Bank Nifty, it's significantly increased to 59. So it's a buy signal. Then from option change in open interest, there was a significant call option unwind between 18,200 to 18,300 and huge number of significant new put options added at between 18,200 to 18,400 and 18,300 got the new maximum nearby put options added. Thus 18,300 is the support we need to look out for. Then regarding the the overall options open interest data, 18,400 got the significant short straddle and the maximum nearby call option is at 18,600. So 18,600 is the strong resistance. Then coming to Bank Nifty, based on change in open interest, significant call option unwinding taken place between 43,000 and 43,300 and significant number of new put options added at 43,300. So 43,300 becomes the immediate support. And based on overall open interest data, huge short straddle were present at 43,500. Then the maximum call option open interest is present at 44,000. Thus, 44,000 is the strong resistance to break and 43,000 is the strong support. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some useful information. Please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, so it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and it will also motivate me to do more. Please don't make an investment decision based on this, as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing it for my and viewers' educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.